What's up, guys? It's Cooper Webb, and you're listening to the MotoXpod.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Aaron Plessinger, and you guys are listening to the MotoXpod.
Save me from myself. My arms and legs are bound like an aging corpse from another world. I'll scream the truth 6 feet underground. Feel the life inside yourself. Watch your enemies dispel. If I can find a way to avoid this fate.
It's that time again. The MotoXpod show is back. This is episode 355 of the Vital MX MotoXpod show, presented by Racetech and Yamaha Motor USA. A lot of fun tonight. We're always having fun, but this is gonna be a good show, man. We have Seth Hammaker that's gonna be on the phone in a little bit after what was an amazing season for him, but also a very heartbreaking end. So really, really looking forward to talking to him. Shane McElrath's gonna join. Lots to talk about. We just finished up the season. Cooper Webb is your 3-time Monster Energy AMA Supercross 450 champion. And then Tom Vial wrapped up the title in the 250 East. We'll definitely get into a little bit of that in the Yamaha Motor USA Open chat. Before we really get rolling, as always, in studio, working the cameras, working the keyboard, keeping the tears in. Scotty Thompson. What's up, Scotty?
Yeah, so far so good. Good start. We didn't have audio issues. And
sure? Well, okay.
We started on time and everything.
Yeah, everybody's headphones working?
Yeah.
Everybody can hear?
Yeah.
TJ Smith also in studio. You can hear?
I can hear.
That's amazing how that works sometimes.
And nothing was unplugged.
We're going to jinx ourselves.
Nobody, anybody tired? Are we going to yawn? Are we going to hit our mics?
I'm not tired.
I'm so tired. Got to make a little bit of fun of Pulpamex. I got tweeted some timestamps and listen to that. He had some problems last night too. Made me feel a lot better about our show's issues. It does happen to the best of them. Happens to the best of us. Although, you know who it doesn't really happen to? I don't know that I've ever heard Lewis have any technical issues.
Well, he
does everything in post, doesn't he?
No, well, yes,
he does.
But he doesn't do a live. But he
doesn't do anything live.
No,
he's a failure.
Yeah, I guess it's possible he could have mistakes and he could hide it. But I don't know, man. I don't. I'm going to give my guy Lewis some credit. Yeah? No? Nobody cares?
I mean,
all right, cool.
Lewis gets all the credit.
Yeah, Lewis, you know what? We're going to talk about something that he did this weekend that was pretty awesome here in a minute. Okay. Overview thoughts on 2025 Supercross season as a whole. One of the questions that you can pop up there on the screen is about this, Scotty. Where, TJ, does this season rank for you as all-time greatest seasons? Like where does
way down?
Okay, tell me why.
I don't know why you started with him.
I mean, it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was some.
Stop acting like an idiot.
Oh,
You're the idiot.
Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
It's. I mean, obviously, I'm an idiot. So, but no, it was fine. It was like it's fine. It was, but it was some good battles
Came down
here
to
and
2
there.
points, you know.
But it just didn't seem to have. I don't know. I just always think of the heyday of when Reed and Stu and I just think back to that.
When you had two guys that could win a title.
But they were just wanting to murder each other and would do anything to win. It didn't matter. Like they would put their life on the line every single race, heat race. If they were lined up in the same heat race, they wanted to win. It was like
you don't feel like that happened this season?
I do.
I don't.
bit.
I think
I
it was
didn't ask you, Scotty.
I think it was more.
Okay.
I think it was more like a game of chess.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because both those guys are really smart
So
racers.
lack
and then with
lack of aggression maybe is what hurt it.
A lack of at any moment one of these dudes could cartwheel down the whoops or something like that. That I mean, just saying that's
Okay.
and then with Eli going out, with Jet going out, like it was set up. I was super excited at the beginning of it, but at the end of it, it was just like it was fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not upset about it. We had some good racing.
All right.
It was just fine.
And 250s? Well, I'm lumping the entire season. So East and West.
Yeah, there was some fireworks there, but some of the fireworks were just people. I think I really got upset when I found out that there's a lot of people out there that have to make up being mad at somebody to try hard. And so that was just disheartening. anyways.
Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Scotty, now for the real conversation. How about you? Where's it fall?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best season ever, but it was really good. It's very entertaining. I think that it's probably one of the cooler title fights that we've had in the last, couple years. I think, like, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion in the last few that who the title was. So to see it come down to the last round was, even though Coop pretty much had it, I thought it was a good season. I liked how it was kind of more of a mental battle, like between Chase and Cooper, and just I think Cooper proved that he is like the grittiest rider of all time. The gritty goat is what I'm going to call him, and I think he just his racecraft and everything. It was just cool to see on display and how he won this championship. And I kept finding myself getting adrenaline rushes watching the last couple of races because it had so much on the line, and I don't think we've had that in a few years. So I don't know if I'll put it in like my top 2 or 3 best seasons ever, but it was a good one.
All right, so I'm going to back up to the beginning of the season. I didn't even get your thoughts on 250s exactly, but you can comment in a second. But going back to the beginning of the season, or if you go back in history to other generations, going back just a few years, Ryan Dungey, RV years. Those are pretty much the 2 guys you knew one of those guys was going to win. Chad Reed, James Stewart, Ricky Carmichael. 3 guys. One of those 3's probably going to win the title. This year coming in, yes, there was injuries, but before that, Jet, Chase, Cooper, Kenny. I'm missing one, I feel like.
Didn't we kind of all think that it was just going to be Jet, Eli, or
guys that
Sexton?
could win races?
Yeah, but we only really at the beginning of the season we're really only saying 3. We were saying Sexton, Jet, or Eli was really the only ones.
Maybe, but I still feel like there was a couple others that we would say, oh, this guy could win, this guy could win. I feel like there was more guys going into the 450 season and the 250 season, both classes, that were like, these guys, well, okay, Hayden might have been the favorite going in, but very quickly, Juju showed that he could be a factor. So I feel like throughout the season, there was a lot more competition at the top level than a lot of other seasons. Like, yes, the 450 season kind of got away towards the end once Kenny got hurt, but going in, there was a lot of guys that could win. 2 of the seasons came down, 2 of the classes or whatever, the 250 East and the 250 or the 450 class came down to the very final round. 250 West almost came down to the final round. We had guys Triumph winning their very first race. Malcolm Stewart got his very first race win. AP got a second race win. Shane McElrath, who's going to be on the night, got his first podium. Like, there's a lot of exciting things that maybe weren't about the championship, but a lot of exciting things that happened. Cole Davies was an outstanding rookie. Like, there were so many things this season where I was like, this is freaking exciting. We talked about the restarts because of red flags throughout the season, and I don't like the way they do it, but those threw like monkey wrenches into the races. And like, for overall, this season there was almost never a moment where it was like, it's just another race. Don't really care.
I don't know why you're trying to sell me. You need to sell him.
I'm just telling you, I'm just saying like my thoughts on it. So
yeah,
I don't know that I could say this is a top 3 best season of all time. That's really difficult to say, but it's one to me that was one of the more exciting ones where I really never got bored.
Can we say, or for me, I guess there'd be a better way to say it. It was the.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yes,
because I didn't do this is the Yamaha Motor USA opening chat. A reputation for dominance. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over decades. The YZ story is over 50 years of iconic machines and groundbreaking innovations. Yamaha took the championship-winning bikes and made them even better because the best doesn't rest. Check them out at YamahaMotorsports.com or go to your local dealer, and you can look at, sit on, and even purchase pretty much the same bikes that won the 450 Supercross title and the 250 West title. Sorry about that, TJ. Go ahead.
No worries. I would say that maybe the better way to say it was, I don't want to use the word boring, but it was the least exciting championship fight that I've ever seen.
See, and I don't understand that.
I just
that's why, like, I joke with you sometimes. Like, we say, "Oh, you hate Supercross or whatever," and that kind of statement makes me feel that way almost because
I don't.
That's ridiculous.
I don't.
That's a ridiculous statement that this was boring.
I'm sorry, I have an opinion.
Chase, no, you're allowed to have an opinion, but it's a ridiculous opinion.
Chase and Webb stayed inside of 15 points the 17 rounds.
There just
How is that not
because
exciting?
there was no fireworks. It was like
there was no like. I'm interrupting.
It was like when the Ryans were battling. They just were so respectful to each other. They just raced. They did like
Those
I've
were
heard
good seasons.
I've heard other people talk about how like and other media people like Steve talk about how like Chase was like the man because he didn't. No, go in there and try to do exactly what RJ did to try to win, whatever it takes.
Okay.
So that right there, to me, what RJ did, I know we're not talking about 250s right now, but I'm going to use that as an example. That is what it, like, he wanted it no matter what. He took a chance. He went down. It didn't work out for him, but he did exactly what he should have done to try to win. Chase could have done that. Would it have worked? No. But they're not out there trying to make friends. They don't ride and train together on the weekends. They're not buddies. They're not like holding hands and going to get ice cream when it's all over. Like there's no pizza party because we all did good.
It's
like,
a lot of analogies. We get it.
But I'm just saying, like there was like I don't know
Okay, yes, they didn't try to totally bam each other, but I respect that in the 450 class. Once you get there, like Chase bumped him last week, right in Denver.
Nah,
he bumped him.
Yeah,
but they don't want to race that way. They
clean the front wheel.
And Coop kind of said, like, if I had that opportunity, maybe I would have if I'd been in that boat. But Chase didn't want to race that way, and I respect that.
Yeah.
So you can say that Coop did do some of that because, like, the flinching on the heat race of the last week.
Yeah,
there's some mind
games and stuff.
Okay, so add that to the
Cooper did that. That's exciting. That's something to talk about, and it worked because he won the championship.
Yeah.
So you're an idiot, JJ.
Well, no, but I think what it is that's Coop. Like Coop was Coop the whole time. I just would love to see him up against somebody like Ricky or somebody like Reed or Bubba, the guys that would do whatever it takes to win and that kind of stuff.
And Chase,
Coop has more championships than all of those.
I kind of hinted at something Lewis Phillips did that was really good. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch his post-race interview with Chase.
I listened to it.
You should watch it. Mm-hmm. Like, actually watch it on YouTube and kind of watch.
I saw a clip of it.
Chase's facial reactions.
You can tell in the voice.
And you hear Cooper Webb revving his bike in the background.
I always give a lot of respect and a lot of props to Lewis because I do like what he does. But the relationship he's built with Chase, getting the real Chase, is unique, and I like it. So Chase allowing him to film him when he's realizing he only lost by 2 points.
Yeah.
And like his honest reaction, and you can see him kind of getting frustrated because you hear the Yamahas in the background revving the shit out of the bikes, and he's just like, "Do I have to listen to this?" And so mad respect to Chase for doing that. Mad respect to Lewis for being able to get that content. But in that, I think it was in that interview where I'm almost sure that Lewis asked him, did you consider getting aggressive? And maybe it was in the press conference, and Chase is like, the opportunity really wasn't there to do it.
Yeah.
Cooper was too smart to he wasn't gonna put himself in a position to get cleaned out.
Right.
In the last two anyway. So yeah, I think Chase might have taken the opportunity if it had been there, but he's not just gonna tee him up for just to tee him up.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Before we get off of this, I'd like to take a few minutes. Niall Diggs in the chat brought up a good point. 9 back injuries this year, even with 9 whoops and no Dragons back.
Yeah, that's true. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, next year we're going to have 8 whoops.
I'm just saying, like the whoops and all that kind of stuff. So
I know.
Supercross is dangerous. Bring back whoops.
Before we move on to some 250 discussion that I want to get to, one, I was wrong. Jay Coop did not win the final round. I shouldn't have stamped it. I was wrong. That sucks. I do want to shout out 2 different companies. Atlas Brace is not a sponsor of the MotoXpod, but they do a lot of advertising with Vital MX. And I recently wrote a review of the Atlas Vision anti-compression neck collar. And Brady Sharon was nice enough to send a couple to give away.
Awesome.
I'm going to do some things on Vital. Probably going to do a couple things on this show in the near future. I actually had her handle a Susie Q32. She reached out about that conversation, and she's getting a an Atlas Vision because
Oh,
of that.
awesome.
So and we'll be doing some of those. Actually, I don't know if the camera's on me here, but
It is. Right
this
there.
is it, guys. So
It's so small and
yeah,
compact. It's so
and-
awesome.
check out the review I did on Vital MX, but we're going to give a couple of these away in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. I also want to shout out Brunt Boots, who you've seen or heard a lot about on Pulp MX. They're sponsoring there. For some reason, they reached out to me and asked if I want a pair of boots, and they sent me a pair of boots. They're really comfortable. I like them. They already feel broke in when I got them, and when I'm out.
Lace up or
I got lace up. I could pick whatever I wanted. They have slip on. I already have like older slip on boots from my old job that I use. So I wanted some lace ups just because I don't have any. So that's what I got. But anyway, I just want to tell those guys thank you for reaching out for that.
I could see him.
Did you catch what he did?
What I do?
So, for some reason, I don't know why they gave me boots.
No, I could see him.
No, time out.
He probably hold on. He probably ordered like a black pair, and they're like halfway up his shin.
Yeah, well, did you get two of them or just one?
What, like legitimately, what did I do there? I don't know why they asked me. Like,
yeah,
why?
but you always like I don't know. You play like this. You try to play like this humble card. Like
I am
don't-
humble.
I don't know why they would ask
Okay.
me. I'm nobody.
No,
Am I
see,
somebody?
you doing that is not humble. Me doing it legitimately
No,
is humble.
it's just-
I don't know why they would ask me that. You're trying to make something out of it that's
I
not
don't
there because you think you're
know.
funny,
I don't know.
but you're not.
That's not.
Okay. All right, we got
I
about
think you hit a nerve.
Yeah, I
14
think a little
minutes.
defensive, didn't he?
Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. We got about 14 minutes before we get to Seth Hammaker, the 250 East class. I really want to get into, before we get Seth on, your thoughts on the whole situation. We'll go to you first, Scotty. Juju, the interaction with Juju, the interaction with RJ. Let me get your thoughts. Who was anybody in the wrong? Was anybody in the right? How'd you feel about the overall situation?
Well, yes, Juju definitely played a part where maybe him not technically having a dog in the fight shouldn't have. But I think that if you kind of rewind back to the beginning of the race, he tried not to pass Vial, it seemed like, for a few laps. Like he kind of just stood behind. Julian kind of stood behind Vial and let him do that once. And then once Hammaker and RJ wasn't quite there yet, but he started getting pressure. Then he got in front of Vial. I think that if he had just passed Vial in the first place, like none of that would have happened. And then Hammaker probably would have had a chance to get Vial one-on-one and would have maybe gotten third when Vial would have gotten fourth, which would have given Hammaker the 2 points gap, and he would have gotten the tiebreaker because of with the tied in points. So I think that Juju trying to not pass his teammate would have started everything.
Yeah, that slowed the process down, slowed a little bit.
So then once he's in that moment, I mean, he's kind of, he was just kind of riding his race, and he got a little aggressive, but I think that him not trying to pass his, I know this kind of sounds messed up, but Vial could have probably gone faster at the beginning. Like, I don't think it's as much Juju's fault because he tried to not pass his teammate, and that was in the title fight. He started doing the right thing, and then that ended up causing some crazy crap to happen.
Okay, so first of all, I'll get to you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hammaker made some mistakes early that allowed Vial to even get by him. So Hammaker made a lot of mistakes throughout the night that cost him time. When Juju went by, there was mistakes made that allowed that. Then he caught back up. And the main things I want to get into, the Vial definitely slowed down a lot that allowed Hammaker to get to him. Now, whether he slowed down on purpose or just got tired, I doubt. So he probably slowed down on purpose, whatever. The pass back where they bumped, like Cade, Clayson, some guys and some private in our chat was like, yeah, that was really a hard hit. And I didn't think it was that bad. In any other race, that pass back was a fine pass. It wasn't even that different than when Seth passed Vial in the same spot and bumped him a little bit and kind of made Vial stop. Wasn't that different. So I don't really have an issue with either one of those. Yes, the fact is Juju was not in the title fight. So you say, okay, he probably should have just stayed out of it and let them go. But, he's racing, right? He said, I don't really care what Vial's doing. I want to go win. He wasn't going to win, but he was racing.
He didn't. He definitely stayed behind Vial longer than he could have.
I think he was just trying to not be. Yeah, I think he was hoping Vial would go, and then he was trying to make an easy pass and not have to get aggressive with him to get the pass done.
No, he stayed behind him for 4 or 5 minutes.
It didn't help Vial any at all, but regardless, the pass on Seth that Juju made, I don't really have a problem with. Also, when RJ went to make the pass and took them both down, he went way the F inside. And Seth, in my opinion, should have known it was coming and had plenty of time to tap the brakes.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like RJ just
Seth would have still won, too,
like
if he would have just followed RJ.
Like on
well, they would have tied.
Yeah, but
and then he would have won by most
Yeah.
wins.
like on motocross when she knew that the French guy was coming at the end to take her out, and she slammed on the brakes, and he flew off the berm back into the mud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
So
That's what he says should have done.
Yeah.
I don't think those issues were that bad. I feel like Seth, and I'll tell him when he's on the phone, put himself in a bad spot by making mistakes, clipping rhythms, maybe not being aware enough of that pass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it as that bad. I feel horrible for Seth because it was heartbreaking.
The first part of the season.
But his season overall was, his best season ever, right? So,
But the first part is what put him behind, right?
yeah, well,
You know
it
what I
was, I actually wrote down, Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah.
17th. He had food poisoning and just dropped way back, so that didn't help.
I think the real question, and I don't think you will ever get an answer of it, is, I mean, obviously RJ, like, did he really know? I mean, he knew that he had to get a guy between him and Seth. Like,
Yeah, I think that RJ was
that takeout really trying to? Yeah, I mean, that's what he was really trying to do, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or hope that he had to go off the track or slow him down enough that
Juju
Juju
back
could
in
get
there.
back by. Look, he had to do something. Again, you hear this comparison over the last couple of days. Not that different than Zacho and Joey Savacci. Same teams also. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a guy trying to win a title, and you do whatever you have to do.
And Zach and
kind of
Joey
like
are-
what you were saying about the 450s.
Yes.
You do whatever you have to do.
And Zacho and
Savacci
are best friends now, so maybe
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just don't see any of it as any one person's fault or the end of the world or this guy sucks for this. Somebody in the group chat, and they said I could quote him, but they were like, he was kind of it was a pussy move or bitch move by Juju, the pass, because it was aggressive, how hard he hit Seth. And I was like, I don't know, man. I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, here's the question. Like,
That's kind of how that corner was set up. Like
Yeah. It left it open if you went wide and
something I haven't heard anybody say, but if you're racing and then you're trying to change the outcome by where you finished, isn't that against the law now with the betting and stuff?
Are you talking about him like slowing down?
I
guess if you could, I don't know if it's against the, I don't know.
That is a very interesting point.
How do you prove that?
But I'm just saying, anyways, I just question.
So yeah, we'll get him on here in a few minutes, and we'll talk about that and see what they think.
About that. Imagine having 10 grand on Hammaker.
We've got a few more minutes. Let's do it real quick. Let's save the Pro X Vital Fantasy for a minute. I wanted you guys to give me a hot take from the season. Like, you go back, you maybe a moment stood out. What you got?
Well, I want to go first because mine fits into what we were just talking about.
Maybe
Mine
a
does
moment
too.
stood out or something happened, and you're like, and you have a hot take. It's not a hot take going forward necessarily. It can be, I guess. But so go ahead.
I would say my hot take is all of this is technically for naught. And all the BS that we saw, everything was all caused by the AMA whenever they screwed Vial out of his finish in the mud.
Honestly, that's a good point because there's no way he got.
There's no way he got DNF.
No.
That is an interesting thing. Like because
he
the immediate thought after this weekend was that Vial he was getting beat in that race, and he maybe. It's hard to say didn't deserve the title, but he
did 100%.
But if you go back, if that Foxborough hadn't one lap went differently, we would never have even been in that title thing.
Those guys would have been fighting for second, and Vial would have been the.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
There's a lot of ifs and buts throughout this season for all those classes, really.
But the AMA screwed up somehow. I'm not saying.
Okay, why did his team not go back and fight for and argue?
They had to, and the AMA they had to.
Nobody.
Roger didn't.
Yeah.
Those guys went
Roger
back.
left a stone
Those
unturned.
guys went back and been like,
All right,
how
so
could
is that your hot take?
That's my hot take.
Do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
My hot take is that out of all 3 championships, the person with the most raw speed didn't win the title.
Okay.
Deeks weren't run.
Cole, Juju had him on speed at the beginning of the season, and I feel like Cole had him on speed in the end of the season. Deke was the most
Other
consistent.
than those last 2 rounds. Well, Davies wasn't there at the last one. Shout out to Davies.
But Davies was the fastest. You're right about that.
So yeah, the most raw speed person didn't win any of the titles.
Like James Stewart.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
All right.
MotoXpod.
Yeah. MotoXpodshow@gmail.com to get your thoughts. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Mine should be 2 showdowns. One at the opening round, one at the final round. I want everybody at the first round. Everybody needs to be ready to go. I want to see all the stars
That's not gonna
together,
happen.
and I want to finish at
That
the
is
end.
not-
I didn't say it was going to happen. That's just my hot take.
I'm okay
it's
with
a
that.
wild thought.
Yeah.
Wild and crazy guys.
I'm okay with that if the only problem with that is both of your shootouts are going to be on the West Coast.
Well, okay. Well, I was going to say the finals should be in Nashville anyway.
So that's fine, but I think there should be 3 at least mid-season. Like,
Okay, we'll do one in the middle, and that one's a triple crown.
oh, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
I want. That's what I was gonna say. Is I want one of the showdowns to be a triple crown.
Yeah,
That'd be
I've
crazy.
been saying that for a while. Because that evens it out. Where like
Or-
if you do 3 triple crowns, one should be
Or just make it
a
to where
showdown, so
like
it's even.
how do we have 3 showdowns, but we still end up where one coast does one more race? Like that's like they should be doing even rounds of races.
Sure. Yeah,
I like where your head's at on both of y'all with the whole do 3 of them, and the middle one is a triple crown.
Also, shout out to Kyle Chisholm, 184 career starts, his final Supercross full-time schedule. My guy, the greatest of all time.
There's no way I could quit and not reach the 200. It's just so close. It's right there in reach.
That's not right there. That's like a couple more seasons.
It's one more season. There's 17 rounds.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
One more season. Just stick it in there. Get the 200.
Just stick it in there. He did. That's why he has 3 kids.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Chizzed.
Chizzed. Yeah, my guy, the greatest of all time. You can't argue it. He's the best that's ever been.
Moving on.
Okay. Pro X Vital Fantasy recap.
He is the best privateer of all time.
Works for me. Pro X is rooted in racing from motocross to off-road and supporting teams such as Ampro, Yamaha, Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and SLR Honda. They've been supplying quality components for almost 50 years, from complex jobs like an engine rebuild to simple maintenance, including filters, chains, and sprockets. Pro X aims to bridge the gap between OE quality and affordability. You can find Pro X at your local dealer or visit pro-x.com and search for parts for your bike. I love my Pro X chain and sprockets. They've been lasting good, hooking me up, allowing me to keep riding, unlike you two dummies.
Why look at me? I ride like almost every day.
Yeah, your busted ass homemade e-bike.
No, I ride my Talaria.
Yeah, that didn't count. I'm not counting that. Okay. The MotoXpod overall season was won by, I don't even know if I wrote it down. That'd be awesome if I forgot to write it down. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this
I'll
is
look it up.
the season or the.
I'm on my way. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, check it out. I wrote down SX591, but I don't know. I think that was just the Salt Lake City with 142 points. Look, overall, I finished in our league, MotoXpod League, 115th with 1,868 points. Do you guys have your overalls? Or
I was terrible.
Okay.
I'm not even.
well, for Salt Lake City, it didn't go very well. 102 points, 148th place. My team of Joe Shimoda, Nate Thrasher, Cody Schock, Drew Adams, Justin Cooper, Aaron Plessinger, Oldenburg, Benny Bloss, Kyle Chisholm, Colt Nichols. Didn't help me a ton. You know, Oldenburg didn't get any points. Bloss didn't finish because he had a bike failure. So, yeah, bummer way to finish the season. But that's where I'm at. What about you guys?
What was your overall rank?
115th.
Oh,
Really?
I was 199th.
I did 211th, and I did terrible.
Yeah, I missed too many rounds.
Yeah.
Our winner was Suzuki 32,
That
which
says
is
Suzy Q.
That's Suzy Q. Okay,
Suzy
so,
Q.
so she's
Suzy
the
Q.
one that
Okay.
got the neck brace then.
oh heck yeah.
Okay, so
how do you? It doesn't have to be a girl.
Followed closely.
she's messaged me.
Oh, okay.
And her
Followed
name's
closely
Susan.
by Jesus Saves and King McGrath in third.
Okay.
And T. Smitty. I'm just going to claim that's me because my last name's Smith.
Yeah.
So
Well, you
I
don't
got-
win.
I
You
got
don't win
fourth.
anything anyway. So
I got fourth.
Um,
Thanks, T. Smitty, for doing such a good job for me.
well, yeah, we would love for you guys to join the Vital MX Fantasy League. It's free. All you got to do is go
We're
to
doing it for
vitalmx.com,
outdoors, right?
sign up. Yeah, there's the outdoors. We'll play
I'm about
again.
to win outdoors.
Fantasy is a lot of fun. All right, our first guest of the night's on the phone. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Racetech, which is the world's largest aftermarket motorcycle suspension modification company. And they have over 40 years of experience providing factory-level suspension to the everyday rider. Building a reliable world-class engine can also be done through Racetech. It requires a combination of state-of-the-art equipment and experienced, knowledgeable technicians, and Racetech provides quality, precision engine services using the best equipment and processes in the industry. Hit up racetech.com, find your local service center, talk to those guys. They can help you out locally. They're probably at your local track. Tonight, Racetech brings us from the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, our buddy Seth Hammaker. What's up, Seth?
Not too much. Just long day of motoing and just chilling out. So how are you guys doing?
No rest for the wicked, man. Right back at it.
Absolutely. Right back to her. We got outdoors in 1 week. So yeah, just getting ready.
Well, I want to tell you first, thank you for doing this. You could have probably been in a place where you just didn't want to talk to anybody. So thank you for that. Before we get into Salt Lake City in the finals, I want to talk about your season as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
This was your best season so far. 2 wins in 250 West. What do you take away? What did you learn that kind of created the best season of your career?
Yeah, there's been so many things. The mindset change that I had going into this year, then a lot of the riding technique and stuff that we have changed on the bike as well helped me out a lot too. But there's so many things that I felt so much more confident in this season, with, minimizing the mistakes, the big crashes, all of that stuff that has led to more consistency and just, being healthier throughout the season. Even if you didn't get injured, you were still beat up or whatever. So like just being fresh for the weekends and having an outlook of, each race is a new race and, an opportunity to get better. Then as I got deeper into the season in the championship fight, that was also a great learning experience for me as well. Like I never been in that position before, but everything that, we've worked on and changed helped me in that scenario as well. So, there's just been, so many good things to take away from the season. I'm really, really happy. And, just grateful that I have the group of people I have around me that, has all helped me, get here. So.
Yeah. So would you say the biggest factor in this season was from a mental side, or would it be from a technique side? Because you've mentioned both a lot throughout the season when in interviews.
Right.
Or are they equal? Maybe they're equal.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, they're pretty equal because I feel like both have really improved. But I'll go a little bit more on the technique side. Just I feel like that really showed, just with, not having the big moments. And I really feel like, besides the food poisoning incident in Detroit and all that stuff and like the mud race, but like other than that, all of those things that I've changed to make myself a safer, more technically sound rider, definitely showed throughout the whole season, and to be more consistent and just stay in it. So,
and when you talk about changing technique to be more consistent, like when I think technique, I think of coaches telling me to keep my toes in because I don't do that, or all these little things. What are the technique things that you've changed that help with consistency? Is it as minute as keeping your toes in, or is there something much bigger?
Yeah, I mean, footwork's definitely a big one of the parts of what we work on. Just a neutralized riding position on the bike, never being too far back or too far front. Just always being able to be in the right spot to correct your mistakes, or if something does go wrong. That's been one of the biggest things for me, is just always trying to be in the right position to even have good technique really. And, elbows, hands, just, a little bit of everything all adds up. And we work hard on it each and every day. So got to be disciplined though to change it after so many years of doing how I just did it growing up.
Yeah.
Right. Like I never had like riding coaches or trainers. I just watched videos and just went outside of my house and tried stuff and did what I thought was right. And it worked for a very long time. But when you get to a high level like we're at, everything needs to be looked at. And it's just one of those things that, I definitely feel like it was a change that was needed, and it boosted, this new step in my career, I feel like.
That's impressive to me though, because it is hard to change after many years of doing something a certain way. So to be able to do that, you have to be very disciplined in order to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I still have so much more to go too. Like, it's not going to happen overnight, but like I didn't get on Supercross this year till December, and this Supercross season was already so much better than the past. And just, there's always work to do and to improve on, and I'll continue to work on it and be better. So that's always exciting.
Okay.
How much of this is Supercross specific, or does it translate? I can't even say a word. Be quiet. Yes. How much of it is like just Supercross, or does this translate over to outdoors also?
It'll translate to outdoors also. We haven't even really touched too much of the outdoor side of things like yet, I guess you can say. We rode a couple of weeks here and there during the off weeks that we had in Supercross during the break, but that was more just getting our motos in the seat time to, have get all your stamina and, workload in a little bit before the outdoor season, since we don't have much time to get ready after Supercross. But all of the things I feel like are pretty similar that we will transfer over, but I'm excited to go to work outdoors because I feel like there's so much that Burner and Dazzy and everybody down here that can, teach me on this side of things as well. Because, Supercross, as far as like the track and the lines and all that, there's not as many different things that you can do and be creative of as you can outdoors, I feel like. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Seth, when it's all said and done, does it take any sting out of the fact that the championship was somewhat taken from you, rather than if it had been like a mistake or something, whether you losing it was kind of more of taken from you? Does that take any of the sting out of it at all?
Not really. I feel like if anything, maybe worse, just because I feel like if I did something wrong on my part or threw it away myself, it's on me. But, and if that were the case, that, I would take full accountability of it. But I truly do feel like I put myself in the best possible positions all day on Saturday, and I handled everything how I should have and went about it all. But, for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be that on Saturday. And, it stings and it'll sting for a little bit, but I'm fired up and I'm motivated that, we got a new series starting in a week. So, we're focused on that really. And, I'm going to use all that fuel just to get a good outdoor season and, just move on. But this thing is gonna be just as bad. So
All right, so I want to get deeper into the transition into outdoors in a little bit, but we got to get into Salt Lake City a little bit, and some of my opinions you might not like a lot, but I'm going to be honest with you from my perspective, and then you tell me how you feel about it. But I feel like you made a few mistakes, and I feel like a couple other guys made a few mistakes, and just it all kind of combined into what happened. But so the pass when Juju went by you, I feel like it seems like he did slow down to try to maybe slow you down, but he also slowed Vial down to begin with. So he was kind of a factor in all different aspects of it. But the pass he made on you when he passed you back, I feel like in any other race, that would have been a fine pass. It wasn't even that different, in my opinion, than when you passed Vial, other than the fact that he wasn't in the title hunt. Is that the worst part of it, that he wasn't really a factor? Or am I completely wrong in your opinion?
Like, So yeah, if that's any other race, like, okay, whatever. Clearly, when he was multiple seconds ahead of me when I got by VL.
Yes.
Clear, like he was riding well all day. He was, good. And I got by VL. I started riding my race and I started catching Juju, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not even running through my head at this point about team tactics or nothing. I'm just like, okay, maybe he's making a couple mistakes, getting tired, whatever. I don't know. I'm just going about my race, executing my laps. I make the pass on him. Don't even think twice about protecting the next inside, because I'm like, okay, like, sweet, we got around him. Let's continue doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get slammed. Like, that pass, he was I don't know. I feel like he was trying to put me down.
Okay.
And it just, and you see right after that, we go one more lap. I pass him back in the same spot. And then that next rhythm, he lets RJ go right by. And when I got taken out by RJ, I didn't even know he got by Juju that, like, all of a sudden, until I watched the race back. Because when I got cleaned out by RJ at first, I thought that was Juju, and I'm like, what the heck? And obviously I saw who it was. So anyways, but yeah, the Juju thing, I didn't like that at all.
I don't.
Anyone can have their opinion, but it doesn't sit well with me, that's for sure. And I think it was totally, I think it was that's what he was trying to do. So,
yeah, and if that's the case, like if he legitimately slowed down and was trying to take you out, then absolutely I have an issue with that. I don't like that. Just the pass in general, if you're passing for a spot, and if he was really just racing for position, that's racing to some degree, and that's kind of where I was saying it, or the perspective I was coming from. But yes, if
I totally get that. If that's a normal race, we're racing for position, like, and it's just, he's not in this championship fight. I didn't think that was cool.
Sure.
So that's my take on it. And then, with him saying that I hit him in the first corner, maybe I touched him a little bit because VL hit me into him. But other than that, it was not even a thing. It wasn't even close. So.
Oh, I guess I hadn't heard that. So when did this come up? Afterwards?
Well, afterwards he said that it was payback because I hit him in the first corner. It wasn't it wasn't anything to do with the team tactics or nothing. And then somebody told me that, and I was like, I didn't even see him in the first corner. Like, I didn't hit him at all. But.
Yeah, you guys talked before you came off the track when you're sitting on top of the jump. Was that some of the words were exchanged, or do you even want to tell us what was said?
I didn't say nothing. I just pointed at him. He knew what he did. So,
okay. Yeah. All right. Well, okay, and then I'm going to move.
He said he knew.
The pass by RJ, you telling me that you didn't realize it was RJ, that makes a little bit of a difference. In my opinion, I was thinking, okay, if you knew RJ was there, he went pretty far inside. I guess I thought, well, you probably should have expected that, but if you didn't know it was him, maybe you weren't thinking that way.
For sure. Yeah, and like, that was, I look back at that race, and unfortunately that was the one corner I feel like on the track that allowed that. There's many corners on Supercross tracks where you can take people out, but that was one of them that set it up good, because you could chop someone's wheel, because for me to go that far inside, probably can't do the finish line. Right.
Yep.
And you don't realize that, I didn't realize that RJ was that close to me as either. And that's things that went down. And I just got up, and I still was able to jump the finish line.
I heard
crazy.
that, yeah.
And then I still had a shot at Tom, and I got really close on that last lap. I know they didn't show it on TV, but I was really close until I slid out. I just made a mistake on my own before the whoops. I caught an edge coming out of the berm and just slid out, lost all my drive. But I really do think I had a realistic shot at passing them last couple of corners. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I was going to do whatever. I was like, man, this would be cool. But
well, yeah. If you hadn't, we heard about you sliding out, and then you also had a lapper that kind of rubbed you a little bit. That you kind of had
that was bigger. Everybody's talking about the slide out, not seeing it because Deegs was on the screen, but I the lapper not getting in your way. I was like, that's what I was screaming at my TV.
Right.
Said,
yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
But okay, so now though, 3 days later, we look back on this season. Yes, your heart broke, but you have to, overall, this has to be a very positive season, as you've already kind of said. And you look at like, okay, I can do this.
Definitely. It's so many positives to take away. And, we had a lot of great results and, a lot of learning experiences throughout the season that'll be so much better next year. And yeah, even though the end result, when you get that close to a championship, and not that even the championship was our goal this season, it wasn't, but when you do get that close, you want to just get it, obviously. But now that I've went through it, I'll be more experienced. I'll have more knowledge and be more mature next year, and I'll have so much more time and all this stuff to just keep on getting better. So huge positives. And just like I said, super grateful for everyone that's helping me. And I'll get one of these one day. It's just like I said, wasn't time on Saturday, and that's all good. It's in the past, and it's time to move on. So but yeah, all good.
Seth Hammaker tonight, brought to you by Race Tech.
Yeah, Seth, Pro Circuit's such a cool team to me because, the way that you guys work together as a team and just everybody involved has always been something that I've enjoyed to see. When it didn't go the way things wanted to at the end of the night, what were some of the encouraging words from Mitch, from other people in the team to kind of pick you up after that crazy race?
Yeah, they were all just, telling me that they're proud of me and that, I've handled everything how I should have and put myself in the right positions. And it's tough when things go down that way, but you gotta, just pick yourself up and don't, we were all obviously super bummed that night, but it's not something that you need to carry with you because we have more things to focus on, and it's time, to look forward to those things. And Mitch is really good about reminding me of that. And I'm thankful because it is hard, to let it go, but it's something that you have to do to move on. And that's what champions do, I feel like. And that's a big part of what we're doing. Like, you got to pick a time, right? Like, all right, yeah, you'd be bummed, you'd be sad, mad, angry, all that stuff. It's all normal. Anybody would feel that, but like, pick a time where it's like, all right, it's in the past, in the rear view. Don't think about it no more, and keep on doing what you have to do each and every day to achieve, your goals in the future.
Yeah. And I think it is a little bit overlooked on how well you handled the whole thing. We handled it with a lot of class. I was very impressed and have a lot of respect for the way you handled it. You didn't get on the podium and start bashing people. You didn't throw fists and stuff at the end of the race. Very classy, man. I was very impressed.
I appreciate it. Yeah. It's very, it's obviously a stressful time, a lot of adrenaline going, but that's not who I am. I just try and even though I don't act that way, I truly do care. I care too much sometimes, and it's, I'm feeling all those emotions, but for whatever reason, I can, control it. And, I feel like I can, use it, in a different way. So that's a good thing. But yeah, it's, doing the interviews and all that stuff. Like even tonight, it's like, just to keep on going with the week and to do all this stuff, even though we're talking about it, it's like, I just need to keep it going. And everything that we, work so hard for, it'll pay off. So.
Yep.
Okay. So you talked about being excited for outdoors, and I'm kind of curious, right? You haven't had a great outdoor season yet. So do you take this momentum and move forward with outdoors, or is the goal also, or maybe more so, to just like, I got to get through a complete season and build?
Obviously the number one goal I feel like would be to get through the season and build and continue what we started this year to do, and that's to make it through all the races and stuff like that, and to gain the experience and to build. It's huge when you have years that you don't get injured and you can build and all that, stuff. Yeah. You just get so much better doing that. But I have some other goals that want to check off. Outdoors, I don't even have a moto podium. I don't have an overall podium or win. So like there's some goals that I'm looking forward to, trying to achieve this year, but I don't want to, stray too far away from our main goal. And I feel like if we do that, kind of the same thing that we did in Supercross. It'll lead to good results and good point standings and all that stuff. So that's kind of where our head's at.
Yeah, so that's some of the, obviously you showed an increase in raw speed this season, and that has to carry over into outdoors, and it's got to give you a little more confidence in going to this first round. And which one of the races do you feel is going to really play to your strengths, and how does your raw speed give you confidence going into this season? Yeah,
definitely confident in the speed. It's been there indoors and out in the past, so that that speed will be there, and bringing more of the consistency and that speed throughout the whole moto is what we're looking to do. But yeah, get through the first couple of rounds solid, and then kind of once we come back to the East Coast, I really like High Point with the ruts and how the dirt is and the elevation change. So that one I'm looking to, all of them really to have good results. But that High Point, Millville, Washougal, I always enjoy. And then to wrap it up, like at Budds Creek is one of my other favorites. So, a couple of the ones that stand out on the list, but definitely just, want to have a solid season.
Yeah, and I think that's key, right? I would love to see you keep this momentum up and get some wins, like you talked, or even some podiums, right? But I want to see you get through healthy and continue to prove that you're one of the guys that should be considered for a title. And getting through the season healthy is the first thing, as you said. That's the most important. It's not easy to do. We see, you look at the season. There's been a lot of exciting moments in racing, but there's been a lot of injuries, as there always is.
100%. That's all part of it. And in the past, that's been something that haven't really done well at, but we're changing it this year.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one, so at least keep that in the back pocket there. But hey, I'm stoked on you, man. I've always said since we first met that I think that was Denny's, right, when we first actually met, and you're just such a nice guy, and I like your personality, and I agree with Scotty that the way you handle yourself is more my style. So I'm a big fan.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan and pulling for you. And it shows your personality, just the fact that you were willing to come on here and talk after, the way the night went. But a great season overall.
Absolutely.
Proud of you. And, good luck in 2 weeks, man. We'll get this thing kicked off and see what you got outdoors.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
You got it, Seth. Have a good night, buddy.
All righty.
All right,
you too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Seth Hammaker tonight, brought to you by Race Tech. Yeah, I thought that was good. I think it'd be hard to come in here and do an interview.
A little salt in the wound.
You could be salty or just pissed off or whatever.
Like you ripping the Band-Aid off kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Last week we had a couple trivia questions for some giveaways. The first one was, what current factory rider did one race on Race Tech and won a Pro Supercross off-season race in Canada? The answer was Malcolm Stewart. And the winner of that...
He won a Canada race?
Yeah, Montreal, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Landon Mickelson is our winner for the Race Tech hat and shirt. I've already contacted him. I'll get that out. I told him this week, but me, it could be a year from now. But right, Tay-Bill?
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Table Jam?
Oh, the chattel every week.
Yeah, don't let me forget. Yeah. We'll get it out. Okay, the other Race Tech trivia question for a Race Tech shock rebuild certificate was, what rider was factory supported while operating a Race Tech service center? And that was Chris Blows. Mm-hmm. And our winner is Carl Antalik.
I should have known that one. Once you said it, it's like, oh,
yeah, it makes so much sense.
Carl Antalik won that. So those are our Race Tech winners.
Nice, guys.
I'll get those out, like I said, by the end of the week. I'm going to get Susie's neck brace out. Got a lot
of work to do.
Yeah, lots to do.
A lot of shipping fees.
I'm recovering, though, man. I had major surgery yesterday. No? Scott Cheesy's laughing.
Your butt camera?
Yeah, I got my colonoscopy yesterday.
Yeah.
Good times.
Did they find like a bunch of like loose paper clips and stuff up in there?
No, man. They didn't find anything, buddy. I don't know why you got to be. I don't even know what that means, TJ. I guess this is some stuff that Scotty must think about. I don't know.
Do you let me tell you what it's from?
Of course.
So in Space Jam, with Michael Jordan, is Bugs Bunny looks into his ear for like some kind of, they put him up on a doctor's chair or something. He looks into his ear and there's like a bunch of stuff, and one of the things is a paper clip, and it just made, I don't know why it made me think of that.
Okay, cool story.
I got a random, because I was looking at the points here,
Yeah, sure. Let's stop talking about what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's not like it's your show.
We
Right?
definitely do not want to talk about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Explain what your phone call to your doctor was about today.
No, we're not talking about that. I was going to talk about the weekend, the prep, and not eating because everybody knows how much I like to eat.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he didn't mind the butt stuff. He just didn't want to eat.
asleep.
He just wanted to eat.
I was asleep. I have no idea what they did to my butt.
It was what in my butt?
rider? What position, or I guess what rider, basically
What position were you in?
finished every single race getting points, and who was like the lowest? I guess would be the way to word it. Like one of the riders got points in every single race.
Who was the lowest?
And who that rider, like what rider was the lowest?
Okay, in the 450s?
250s.
I think I know what you're
250s?
asking. So
250 what? East or west?
Which
rider that scored points in every race
in the West
got the lowest score?
The East. I'm sorry, East. In the East Coast, a rider got the lowest score, but scored points in every race.
I'm with what you're trying to say.
Chambers?
In the East.
Don't look.
I can't see it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Max Volan got 7th.
Okay.
Everybody after Max Volan, and some guys
At
before,
least
Really?
missed a race.
got 0 point at some point in time.
Interesting. All right.
You know,
Good
0
job.
points.
Good job, TJ. So
they could have gotten 0 points and still made the main.
it's fine. I'm just saying, like he made points every single round, got 7th.
finish the season healthy. We're happy with that too. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Max needed to do that. So yeah, back to my medical. Just,
I was trying to get off of that.
Listen, man. Anybody listening to the show knows I like to eat about every 2 hours, or I'm not a happy person. So starting Saturday at 6 p.m., not being allowed to have any food until the procedure Monday at noon was really, really awful.
I don't know if it's possible for me to care less.
Okay, well, screw you then. I don't know why you have to be a butthole. I thought we all. I thought
that's what we were talking about, Bo.
I thought this was a show about caring and friends.
Yeah.
You've really set that example. Yeah.
Man, you guys are really hurting my feelings right now.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I mean, you made it.
How do you do this every day, Scott? Scotty? How do you feel when I'm feeling every day?
I just bottle it up and go home and beat my wife.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
X-Brand is your choice for clear vision and a leader in motocross and off-road goggles. X-Brand is used by many of the top GNCC riders, including 2023 XC1 champion Craig DeLong and many other off-road, supercross, arena cross, and motocross riders, including the greatest of all time. Who's the greatest of all time, Scotty? We talked about it a little while ago.
Well,
Kyle Chisholm, you're right.
okay.
Freddie Noren, Henry Miller, Michael Hicks, Richard Taylor, and many more. Visit eksbrand.com or go to your local dealership and ask for X-Brand, distributed through WPS. The X-Brand Forum check-in. I don't care about outdoors. ...
That's a hot take.
Posted by Magoo Fan. So this is based off Cooper Webb in the press conference after Salt Lake City. One of the first questions, are you guys paying attention?
Yes.
Questions asked of him was about going outdoors, and he just interrupted. He interrupted the guy and said, "Listen, man, I said this in 19, I said this in 21. Supercross champ, I don't give a damn about outdoors."
Okay.
That's fair.
So one of the questions, I didn't say this at the beginning of the show. I did reach out to Coop, try to get Coop on the show tonight. I was pretty sure he was going to say no. He told Mathis no. I asked him for 10 minutes, 4 questions, didn't get a response. But one of the questions I was going to ask was that a Saturday night, I don't give a damn about outdoors because I just won the title, or is that season's over, 3 days later, I don't give a damn about outdoors?
To me, it's more of if he had over the years shown a little more success in the 450 outdoors. I know he has a 250 title. If he had shown more success in the 450 outdoors, I think that answer would be different. Like if he really thought that he was one of the guys that could win the title, he'd be doing it.
But he also told me in Birmingham on our 101 that it was very important to him. He wants to be good outdoors. He wants to be successful for that Mount Rushmore kind of discussion, which we still need to get into. So I kind of took him on his word on that, hey, outdoors is important. But he also talked about, for the first time all season, he openly admitted about having a torn UCL with his thumb.
Yeah,
and
maybe when he
we
told
all
you
knew that, but he hasn't talked about it. What?
When he told you that, maybe that hadn't happened yet.
It happened before the season started.
Oh, he's all
That's
season.
why he was so bad in the beginning of the season.
Oh.
You don't remember that? Like he didn't ride at all in December?
Yeah, I didn't
Because
know
of
it was
his-
still lingering now.
Yes,
Okay.
he needs to have surgery.
Okay.
So,
Didn't seem to hold him back too much.
well, exactly. That's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
You actually were going to bring that up, which you can now if you want.
Yeah, it's just saying, like, does a rider like him dealing with an injury all season, or let's just use this as an example, does that mean that Coop's win was even more dominant than what it looked like on paper? Like, if he'd have been 100%, would it have been even more dominant, or do we accredit more to him because he did it with an injury that means he can barely hold on to the bars with one hand?
I'm going to say it adds to how impressive it was, but I'm going to push back a little bit on dominant.
Got you.
It wasn't a dominant championship win. Chase won 7 races. Chase kind of beat himself, to be honest. So I'm not going to give Coop dominant, even though we know I'm a Coop fan. I'm just not really. I don't think that's the right terminology. But yes, I do think it must have made it more difficult.
So you say it doesn't make
it's more impressive.
Yeah. To me, it was an impressive win. He did good, but it almost makes it like, oh, wow, he did that injured. So that makes it even, like, I guess more impressive would be a better way
It
to word
adds to the impressiveness of it. I'm sure Chase had issues linger. They all do, so, but yeah, sure, it adds to it. But going outdoors, like, okay, first of all, do you guys have any issue with him openly saying, I don't give a damn about outdoors? Like,
No.
If you're his sponsors, would you be like, well, we're paying you to race outdoors too, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want him. He's just
okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that answer.
He's one of 6 guys.
Yeah. I personally have a problem with it because I want him to go do well outdoors.
Well, that's selfish.
Yes. Yeah, I'm giving you a selfish answer because that's what we're doing right now. But he has been pretty open about that throughout his 450 career.
That's my thing though, is I think that if he has more accolades and 450 outdoor championship and been in more title fights and had more, let's say, speed in outdoors, I think that answer would be different. I think he knows that like go out on top, right? Like
for the season.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's gonna do some outdoors to get some SMX points because he wants to do the SMX thing.
Does he? Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, that's the thing. He didn't do very many last year. He hasn't done all that many in his whole career, really.
Why does he have to do the outdoors? He's seated in.
But
if you don't have
more points, you get the higher seated.
Yeah. If you don't go in with that. Yeah. With one of the first 2 or 3, it's really hard to.
You need that bump in points at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Because with the top 5 points, the top,
okay, I'm
the
sorry.
top. I think the top 3 have a pretty good significant amount of points on.
Completely blanked on the fact that they get points going.
Yeah.
In.
So, he's going to do a few for sure. Who knows going forward? But like how many he actually does, if he does them all, I would lean towards he's not going to do them all. Maybe a couple. I don't know.
What does he go ahead and get the thumb fixed now and then come back?
I think that's the factor, right? How long does that surgery take to recover, right? So if it's 1 month, let's say, which I'm sure it's more than that,
it's ligament.
then you have to prepare. Okay, well, I got to be ready for SMX. So maybe the sooner the better. It's just, I guess it depends on
100%. I would think
maybe that's why he didn't want to come on the show tonight or last night. He's already getting the thumb surgery.
Could be doing that right now.
That's how rumors start.
I don't think so.
Industry.
That's what we're going to say. We're gonna, breaking news.
Breaking news.
I think he would rather just not do any podcasts or interviews right now because he's done with the season. But yeah, so no issues. Nobody cares. Like, I'm bummed that he's probably not going to be outdoors for the whole thing. I want to see him outdoors. Do I think he could compete with those guys? Maybe not. But I'd like to believe he could a race or two here, right? Or be a factor.
Was the person saying just based off of Coop's comment, or were they saying that they don't like outdoors?
He didn't say anything, actually. He just posted the quote of him saying that.
Oh.
And then people were commenting. Let me pull it back up.
Like, I'm so stoked for outdoors. Like,
no. He was just saying that, hey, like, yeah. Oh, okay. Coop being candid, Supercross champ, I don't give a crap, bro. I guess that answers where his mindset is after Supercross. That's all he said. And then the following comments are like, yeah, I'm with him if I'm in his shoes. Not bad for a washed-up champ. Okay, alrighty. Anyway, stuff like that. So I just want to get your thoughts on like how you feel about him saying that in the press conference, and that he.
I think you're right. I think it's a little more of, was that Saturday night? I just won this championship kind of thing.
I'd like to know if it was like, because he did tell me in Birmingham, like, I care about outdoors. I want to do well. I want to be thought of as a guy that could race outdoors. So I'm in
But
my
now-
mind
but-
this whole time, he's
Yeah.
going to race outdoors.
But now he's one of 6 guys that have 3 Supercross championships. He's like, maybe. bring it."
Yeah. Okay, so no other thoughts then. All right, great. Very exciting.
I just gave you a bunch
Yeah,
of
I know.
thoughts.
It's TJ just, I don't know why TJ's even here tonight.
I was talking for like 5 minutes before he went to him about this same exact thing.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
Is that the only X-Brand
The
chicken?
whole thumb thing.
There's always only one chicken.
I
Oh.
literally.
Have
Are we
you,
going-
is this your first show?
Yep.
Cool.
Are we going to
forgot
the emails?
Yes, Evan's cool and emails.
Sweet.
Oh, you need it for the schedule. And then
Just
we'll
making sure.
go to Shane shortly after that. Evans, waterless coolant protects your engine because it always stays what, TJ?
A cool
Liquid.
liquid.
Steam inside the engine creates hot spots and detonation. But with Evans, the metal was always what?
Flaked on that nice and cool.
Liquid cooled.
Liquid cool.
It's liquid? If it's liquid, that's bad.
Used liquid cooled. Used by HRC, Honda, Factory Beta USA, Ampro, Factory Yamaha, and many other teams. Regardless of the sponsorship, Evans is in the bikes on the what?
The line?
Podium.
We don't do good at pop quizzes,
You
bro.
have failed miserably at the Evans Coolant emails. Pop,
We're
pop
not
quiz.
reading it.
I read it every week, man. It's liquid.
Okay, yeah, you still have to read it every week. Do it without reading it, and then you can give me shit for not knowing
I
what
just
you
asked you
said.
one word. I didn't even ask you because I knew you wouldn't know. You don't pay any attention.
I'm over here doing
I'm
other
over-
stuff.
The one job I have, I'm trying to do. And
Yeah,
then-
is when he does when you're doing ad reads.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. If you were team manager, wow, this is random riders. Okay. If you were team manager and had to sign 2 450 riders and your choices, or 1 450 rider, 1 250 rider, sorry. And your choices in 450 riders were Dean Wilson or Joey Savacci. And then your 2 250 riders are Ryder D and Carson Mumford. Which one of each would you pick?
I'm gonna go Joey and Ryder.
Do you have any reasons, or is this just random?
I think Joey has a little more tread on the tires, I think, than
Okay.
Dean Wilson does.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dean Wilson would be a good pick if I was just trying to like push a product and try to sell merch and didn't really care about the results. Then yeah, Dean Wilson, Grandpa Earl would give me a lot of views.
That's what I'm about to say.
That kind of thing would be good.
Let's
but
stay
if
with
I-
450s for a minute. So,
But yeah, if I want results and to develop a team, then Savacci.
I'm 100% Dean. You would never. The only reason why you hire anybody is to sell products. It's advertisement. It honestly, let's be honest, it doesn't matter.
Depends
if they
on
win.
what you're selling though.
Like if Joey, you said Savacci, right?
Yeah.
If Joey's gonna get like a sixth one night, or battle in the top 5, is gonna do nothing for you to sell products. How many times did we really watch him halfway through the race this year?
That's a good point.
So I'm gonna agree with you, TJ, because the results aren't from those two guys aren't gonna be that drastically different most of the time. I don't know. Dean and Joey have both been in the series over 10 years, right?
Yep.
I mean, Dean a little bit longer. Dean is definitely more. I mean, Dean doesn't even really want to race full time, right? Supercross, but he's got the knee issues.
And I'd be
But
okay
if you're
with
going to
that.
hire one of those two guys, you're right. I'm not hiring for results, so I'm going to hire the guy that's going to make the bigger impact with the fans,
Yep.
Yeah,
with
that's a good
social
point.
media.
I
That's
think it
gonna
might be
Dean.
changed.
So I'm going to go Dean.
And Ryder for the same reason.
Same reason.
Same
okay.
reason.
Thoughts on?
Ryder just has, I think it has higher ceilings.
So I'm going to agree with you in that aspect. Their results overall, I think both been in the year. Well, Ryder's like 4, Carson's 7 years.
I think Carson's at his top.
Yeah, and I feel like Ryder might be able to peak and might even get some wins. He's had at least one outdoor podium, not
Yeah.
overall, but I think a moto
He has
podium.
a great personality.
Yeah.
He likes to play along with the
So similar to Dean,
Yeah.
probably better with the fans and results. Also, probably overall better. So I'd go Ryder.
So do you think that a spot like, let's say not even an industry sponsor, an outside sponsor like Progressive or Twisted Tea or whatever, it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they would take, like, and I'm not, Savacci is not really talking about him in this. Do you think that you would take a rider that had like a YouTube vlog or whatever that got thousands to 100,000s of views and but would never like get top 10s? Or do you think that they would take a guy that would probably have 4 or 5 podiums in a year What do you think they'd be happier with?
I think at that point, podiums.
Yeah, I think that's a huge
I'm
difference.
thinking the discussion with
What
those
about
guys
top fives?
is, yeah,
What about top fives?
Those guys were more. We need our next guest is on. Let's get back to this. All right, next guest of the night is on the line. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. Andy Gregg and the Guts Racing crew continue to provide the best seats and foam available, and we do have a winner for our Guts seat. We'll do that after this interview. If you want the same seats used by Rockstar, Husqvarna, Hep Suzuki, and many more, then you need Guts Racing. They have numerous color possibilities, staple or Velcro installation options, wing seats, and the best foam in the business with the Phantom Ultralight seat foam. Don't forget they have complete seats for the Talari and Super 73 and covers for the Sur-Ron and Segway. They strive to ship orders within 36 hours, business hours. So visit gutsracing.com and use that promo code VitalMX to save. Today, you can save 20% tonight. Guts Racing brings us from the Quadlock Honda team, Shane McElrath. What's up, Shane?
How are you guys doing?
We are doing great, man. How are you after we just got off the phone with Hammaker, who had his best season.
Yep.
And you just finished your best Supercross season. How are you feeling, man?
I feel good. It was definitely encouraging just knowing that the work that we've done this year was worthwhile. And we set a plan, we kind of built a system, and we operated in that system, and we really started to see it paying off later in the season. And that was really encouraging, just because it's been a rough go at my 450 career so far.
Well, I actually have some questions on that, but you just talked about we set a plan, and I don't remember where you said this, but this season you talked about it's like the first time that your program and the team you're on seemed to gel together, like it all worked the way you had hoped it would work. Kind of explain that, because you've been on HEP, you've been in Mad Parts. What were those puzzle pieces that worked this season?
Honestly, I think it goes back to the off season last year, spending time in Australia and WSX, really just getting to know Yariv. And that was where that deal came up kind of last minute. And it was like, well, I think we're going to go do this. And getting to race all those off season races, that, like, over in Australia, it was like they're the full factory Honda team. And so we get over there, it's kind of turnkey. Like, the bike was a factory bike. And I'm like, okay, this feels really good. I haven't felt this in a while. And really, it was just like we started setting the bike up. We never really put a foot wrong. And that really started to grow my confidence, build my comfort. And we race after race, I just really kept progressing, and my confidence was building. And coming into this year, it was kind of like we had discussed wanting to do something in the U.S. And on the 450, but it was kind of just a constant moving target with prior commitments and everything. And just having the relationships and the team and the equipment, like it's not about just having the equipment, and it's not about just having the team, or it's not about just being the right rider or having the right training program. It's about having all those things combined. And I think that's this year what really I was able to kind of make those connections, because this year it wasn't really that I did anything that different, but it was like, hey, when everything is working together and as it should be, then you start to see those results. And so it was like, okay, we see some progress. And then we kept going, and then we kept learning. It's like, okay, well, let's push a little harder. And it was just having, I think, a constant reference point, and everybody communicating and on the same page. That was a big deal this year.
That's great to hear. And I was going to ask you later if the off-season races helped or hindered by the end of the Supercross season, like if you were tired or whatnot, and you answered that, like it was obviously a huge help.
Yeah, and that's where it's like, for me, I honestly felt the best I've ever felt right now. And I've raced the best I've ever raced. And that was where doing the off-season races, it was, there was so many repetitions of races. It's not like we were just pounding out motos over there. It's like you kind of ride when you could, but you go to the race, and we had races where it's like we raced 4 times on the weekend, and then we go to the next round and we do the same. And so just the amount of gate drops that we did was like so fun. And it got to where, like, when I was lining up for A1, yes, we didn't have really a lot of prep time. I didn't have much time on the 450, and everything was kind of new. It was just like, hey, this is another race. Like, it didn't feel any different from a race perspective. It's just different competition, different bike. And but yeah, the off-season races, that really helped me grow. And then, but also it helped me learn how to manage too, because it's like we're racing so much that it's like, hey, we're not sure what we're going to get to do this weekend, but we know what the race is going to be. So it's like, let's focus on that. And like this year, I've never trended upwards throughout Supercross season.
Yeah.
And it felt really good to do that. And so the last round in Salt Lake, well, especially after I went down in the main, like, I was pretty gassed, and I could never recover after that point. But at the same time, it's like I pushed the hardest I pushed all year during the week, and then all through qualifying on Saturday, like I really put everything into qualifying, and then everything into my heat race, and then I was putting everything I had into the main. And so it was like, well, I hit a wall.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I didn't know where my limit was. So it's like we've continued to grow, that it was like we got to the last round. I'm like, dude, I'm throwing everything at this right now.
Well, it was very impressive to see, and I want to ask you a question, and I don't believe that you're going to be a guy that looks at like, I should have done this differently, or regrets. But now, where you are today and how this season's gone, do you wish you had made different choices early in your 450 career, or were there even an opportunity where you could have maybe picked one team and kind of had this comfort?
It's hard to say. I mean, every decision we've made to this point has been really of high importance, and trying to make the best decision we could at that time. The only thing that I'm not sure of is my first year, like when I was leaving Star, Brad, the team manager at the time, he called me. I'd actually just landed at the airport in Charlotte to go test the JGR bike, the Suzuki. And we were discussing with JGR, but Brad was pretty upfront with me. He's like, hey, I'm not sure that I can guarantee you anything, but there is kind of an opportunity, but it's like, it's kind of take it or leave it. And it's Supercross and motocross, or just Supercross, but the money's the same, and there really wasn't hardly any money. And in hindsight, that opportunity probably would have been my best opportunity. Well, for sure would have been my best opportunity. But at the time, it was like we had no clue what we were doing. And we ended the year late because of COVID. So there was a lot of time pressure on it. And it was, I'm not for sure. He pretty much told me that it was kind of between me and Malcolm, and whoever took the deal first could have it. And we just weren't in a position to do anything with it at that moment. And we were just like, okay, I can't do anything right now. And obviously Malcolm took the spot. So it's hard to say that was a for sure thing. But if it was, that would have been a good opportunity. But at the same time, every decision that we've made up to this point has been one that we tried to make the best opportunity, or the best decision we could. Yeah,
of course. Scotty?
Yep.
Shane, with we were talking about the fact that you've kind of had a full year of riding with the overseas racing and everything. How did that feel to kind of have that momentum carrying forward throughout the whole season, and the fact that you were able to have the testing and you knew the bike where it was, and how great was that advantage at the end of the season?
It was honestly a breath of fresh air. Like, after having the year I had, it was really, or I think it is really easy to get discouraged when you just keep working, and you don't really seem to make any progress. And at times you go backwards and you're like, dude, I'm not really sure what's going on. And that's just really hard to overcome mentally. And when we took the opportunity to go to Australia and got over there, the first day on the bike was amazing. And once we started setting the bike up with suspension, it was literally like we didn't put a foot wrong. And it was like validation for like my feedback and the suspension guys there. It was like, I literally trusted them within a couple days working with each other. And it was like, they understood me. And then we went racing and it was like, I can win. And then it was like, dude, this is the same as it felt when I was in the 250 class before. And so it was like, okay, it was kind of like a restart a little bit, where it's like, okay, I've got a good bike. I can race. I know how to race. I know how to win. And now it's like, I really had to, I think I grew the most over there mentally, and having to balance 2 championships and, just kind of a lot of travel on top of that. And, also in a short amount of time and at the end of a really long year. So, that was really a lot of growing personally, to where then coming into this year, it's like, hey, we're in a new place that we've never been before. And we see the work that we've done paying off. So let's keep going. And that really started in the off season last year.
So when you first came on, I don't know if you heard what we were talking about, but we had brought up different riders and us, if we were team owners, who would you hire, this and that kind of stuff. And one of the things that was brought up was talking about Dean Wilson and how a lot of his value, obviously he's not as fast as you are, and he's not going to finish as high up as you are, but a lot of his value is also his following, his marketing and stuff like that. How much does that play into like your day-to-day stuff? I mean, you obviously are on the cusp of being one of the guys who are going to be consistently possibly battling for podiums, especially in Supercross and stuff like that. Is it like, do you focus on, you know what, I'm going to ride my race, do my best, or do you ever think maybe I should start my own Grandpa Earl? Or his own,
he's got a YouTube channel now.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that's the kind of the reason why I was asking that.
Yeah, that's something that we have, or me personally, I struggle with social media big time. I don't really know how to manage it well, as far as like, I mean, I can post ads all day. It's like that. I guess that might be the part I have trouble with, is like, I want to be a brand that shows me. And that's where it's like, I haven't really got the opportunity to work with a lot of companies, I guess outside of team sponsors, because it's like, I'm not maybe as marketable as somebody that's just got a big following. And then they can kind of change their character a little bit to fit that product or service, whatever they're advertising for. And that's something where for me, it's like we took on a rider. We hired him full time. It's like, hey, we need help. We want you to do everything media related. Like, that's your job. We don't know what we're doing. And we kind of just handed him the keys and let him go. And he reaches out to sponsors and he tries to bring deals together. And that's something that he's really good at. And it's something that we have learned, I guess, how to approach companies, or how to, like, what we can provide from a service standpoint. But that's the hard part, is like, if you're not naturally good at that, or I guess do that automatically, it's hard to, I mean, for me, I put a lot of focus and effort into my riding. And it's like, I want to do all these other things, but I'm not one to do something halfway. Yeah. And so that then becomes the hard part. And it's like with Dean, I think Dean is in a really good spot right now, because the thing is, like, he's a past champion, and he's kind of at the tail end of his career, and he's built a following throughout his whole career. Whereas now it's kind of more the fun side of Dean, which he's still competitive, but he's built up so much throughout his career that now it's like that's a big asset or piece of leverage for him that many people don't have. And the thing is with Dean is like he does a lot of that stuff on his own because one, he can do that. But it's like it doesn't really matter, I guess, quality wise, because it's like he's good at making it fit his character. And if it's a little bit, I guess, not done well, he's like he can throw some jokes on it, and it's like it fits right in.
Yeah,
so,
it almost doesn't matter what he does, right? It's at this
correct.
Point. Yeah.
So, and for us, I still don't really know how to do it, and if I were to try to do it on my own, I don't know that I could do it. But at the same time, like that's the thing is brands want that, and I mean for him, like with the Honda deal, it's like that's a perfect spot for him because it's kind of no long-term ties to it, or it's not like Dean's trying to race for another 5 years or something. So it's like, hey, Honda gets a lot out of that. But also Dean really gets a lot out of it too. And it's just kind of the perfect fit for him, where it's like, if I struggle to market myself like that kind of does weigh heavily on some teams.
Sure.
And that could be the difference in some people getting some big funding from companies versus not.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately that is part of the sport now. I mean, I say it's unfortunate in some aspects. Like if you're a Justin Cooper, let's say, that's getting really good results, but Justin doesn't have the biggest personality, maybe it hurts him a little bit. But then you have a guy like a Dino that's not getting the best results, or even AP sometimes, who has a huge personality. Then you get more doors may open for those kind of guys.
Yeah. And that's the hard part. Well, I guess in our industry, a lot of our contracts are performance based. Mm-hmm. So it's like Justin Cooper. I mean, he's a quiet guy as it is, but that's the thing is like you do well enough, then you pretty much guarantee yourself X amount. But the flip side of that is like with Dean and Rockstar is like Dean's built a following to where Rockstar and Dean are a package deal almost now, to where they will kind of follow him wherever he goes. And that's not really outside the industry money, but it's like when you build those things together, it's not a team deal anymore. That's where the sponsors will move around. But like with Justin, it's like, if you do well enough, it doesn't really matter. Like the team pays you kind of what you're worth. But if you're not doing well, you're kind of stuck in the middle and like trying to I don't want to say find scraps, but it's like, hey, I'll take a little bit to do a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense. Yeah. Scott,
I think it's I think that there is a little bit of AP and Dean have kind of funny guys and have that kind of wild personality. And I know that that's not really Shane, but I think that you have a very opportunistic niche with this because you are such a stand-up guy, very classy, very handle yourself very well. I think that you would set a very good role model, and especially with this day and age of all these kids going through training camps, and now they have media coaches and stuff growing up. I think that there is a spot for that, and I hope that you kind of play to that angle because that is who you are, and I think that you do bring something to the sport in that aspect.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's that's where it's like, I mean, for me as a Christian, it's like, I mean, I guess as a Christian, we're supposed to love Jesus and love people, and loving people is being honest with them and challenging them and holding them accountable, and that's where it's like those are all good things. And in order to be great, it's like, dude, I want to go out and race those guys as hard as I can, because it's like, I want to beat them, but at the same time, they're holding me accountable. It's like, am I using the gifts that God gave me the best way that I can? And it's like, I hate losing because it's like, I feel like I should beat those guys, but at the same time, it's like, they're holding me accountable too. And so it's like, I just love shaking their hand, like bumping them on the track, coming off the track and shaking their hand. It's like, dude, thank you. Like that was a stinking hard race, but it was fun at the end of the day. And so it's, yeah, we all need encouragement.
Yeah, for sure. Shane McElrath tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. I want to jump back. You mentioned a little bit ago of kind of having that same feeling you had back when you were on 250s now. And I think people forget that back, that you battled Chase Sexton for that 250 title back in 2020, right? And I think you had 3 wins and, I don't know, 7, 8 podiums, something like that. Like you had a hell of a year. And that unfortunately didn't transition yet to 450s, but it seems like it's starting to. So has that been like how have you handled that kind of that pocket of time where it wasn't really the same results, and knowing that, hey, I had it and now having it back again a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was a tough place to be. I mean, that's where it's like lining up every weekend and knowing that I've beat this guy. I still believe that I can beat this guy. But then you go out there and you're like way off the pace. But at the same time, it's like we feel when we're riding good. And it's like, hey, results don't always tell the story. And it's like, we can ride our butts off for 5th place, like if we go down or what. But it's like, if we rode our heart out, then at the end of the day, it's like, hey, I'm a 5th place guy today, or I'm an 8th place guy today, but I stinking rode hard and I'm happy with that. But yeah, it's definitely discouraging when you just seem like you're working and like I mentioned, either staying the same or maybe going backwards. And the thing is, every year, everybody keeps moving forward. And so when you don't feel like you're making any progress, that's really tough. And, this year it was honestly kind of coming in to the year. It was kind of the same mentality. Like, hey, we're going to work. We've got a good bike. We need to make some changes, but it's like, we got a lot of room to grow. And, I think that was having the off season that we did and just really reigniting, everything that I'd done before. It was just like, hey, I can still do this. Let's figure out how to do this on the 450.
Yeah.
And we really just kind of got to work and we never stopped working. Even last week, it was like, we're not doing outdoors. So we can literally put everything into this last race. And, the team, they each week it was like, hey, these things were good. These things need a little bit more work. These things were good. We need to be better here. And so it was constant accountability. And, now in hindsight, it's like, I've had to rewire my brain a little bit because it's easy to get stuck in like, well, this is just where I am. And this is where I'll be the rest of the time I'm racing. But, this year it's definitely been about breaking that mindset because, that's not where I should be. It's like, I'm better than this.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. All right. I got 2 more for you. I want to go back. You mentioned the fall in Salt Lake City, towards the end of the race. And when I saw it happen, they had just talked about like, Shane, this could be Shane's best finish. He could be 7th overall in the season. And okay, first of all, was the fall caused at all by Malcolm's pressure? Did you get tired, or was it looked like you just kind of lost the weight on the front end and then got off balance?
Yeah. Well, so Malcolm was behind me. I didn't know exactly how close he was. But I'd been cutting low in that corner, and that time I could hear Malcolm, but I didn't want to give him an opportunity to like block past me.
Yeah.
And so I jumped into the corner and was going to go up to the top of the berm anyway. But when I jumped and landed in the corners, I landed in some braking bumps and my hand came off.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so then I kind of fell over the front of the bike, which is what you've seen. But I literally landed and my hand just came off the bars. And that was kind of all she wrote.
Okay. Yeah, I was bummed, man. I mean, like, I think it cost you 2 positions overall, but again, you've got a lot of positive to take from this season. So
that was the thing. In hindsight, it's like I'm normally one to, like, I guess know my surroundings, and it's like coming in, it's like, hey, I've got really good momentum. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I should be able to get 7th in points. And that was the big picture. But at the same time, like, I'm coming in with so much momentum. I really want to continue pushing. Like, I've grown a lot, but I don't know where my ceiling is. And we haven't made any bike changes in the last couple of weeks. So it's been like everything's growing together. And then now we're at a spot where it's like, hey, let's work and let's push. And in the race, it was like, hey, I'm in a good position to get 7th. But at the same time, it's like the lead group was right in front of me. And it was kind of like, I just didn't really care about the points anymore. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to see how far we can go. And that was kind of really what happened. And that's something that I'm pretty excited about, because I'm normally not one to push those limits like that. And so for me, it was like, it's a bummer that I went down, but at the same time, it's like, dude, that maybe have been the best or the hardest I've pushed, just to see. And ultimately I went down, and it's like, you know what, it's whatever. So,
well, congrats on a fantastic season. I'm really glad that you're in the position you're in, where you're feeling as good as you are. So I can't wait to see you back racing again. I mean, I guess off-season stuff is hopefully the same as last year.
I'm planning on doing WSX. I'll be back for SMX also.
Yeah.
I may do 1 or 2 outdoors for some gate drops, but right now I get some rest, which I haven't had in a long time.
Well,
so,
again, congratulations, man. It was really cool to see, get that first podium, the emotions and all that stuff, man. It's a hell of a season, so congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
It.
Thanks, Shane.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
Right,
thanks.
Shane McElrath tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. Good interview, good information.
Shane, I'm so glad to see that he's gotten some of the accolades that he deserves, man. It's so cool to see how much success he's had this season, and that he's hanging in there, and to see more from it.
Yeah, for sure. TJ, got a lot to say there.
He, I think it was interesting how open he was about, and he's not the only one. Quite a few guys have been open about how much positive effect that having a huge social media following has, and then yet they don't seem to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I think
he's doing it.
I first of all, social media stuff is really, actually, to do it right is very difficult. Like, you have to know all the algorithms, and like things change week to week.
But for someone like him, who is he's very outwardly Christian. I mean, all this.
He's not going to tell people to suck it on the podium.
Wow.
My thing is like, all you have to do is just put out there what his day-to-day stuff is. People would be interested. Like, you don't have to be Grandpa Earl. You just have to be out there.
Well, that was my point. I think that's what they're doing with his YouTube. And
he's a role model. He needs to be presented as that. And that's what I was saying.
Yeah. But I think I'm happy for him, man.
I have to check it out. I was going to ask him, but he got off to like what his YouTube channel was or whatever. So I'm sure it would be that hard
I think it's just Shane McElrath.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what it is. So, all right, let's jump into some of these segments and start closing the show out. Anything else before we move into the next segment?
Well, no, we got to get to the next segment.
Well, weren't we just getting back to something?
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do some of these segments real quick. ETS Racing Fuels was forged from the heat of competition nearly 30 years ago, developing purpose-engineered fuel for high-profile teams in highly competitive series. We've been the power behind many podium wins ever since. Teams using ETS Racing Fuels have won more than 50 national and world champion titles. And we continue to forge new alliances and partnerships across motorsports. ETSRacingFuels.com. Find your local distributor. Get you some of that ETS Racing Fuels, and you too can maybe start winning some races. I don't know. Maybe you can't, but it will definitely help your bike run better. Okay, T-Bolt USA top 5 All right, you guys are both over there laughing. I need to know what's up.
No,
It's show content. What are we laughing at?
Phil in the chat said that whoever that is on the left, which would be him, needs to cut your hair. You look like ML.
Get a haircut on Wednesday, so we'll be all right.
Man, never mind. Okay, cool. I'm not saying anything. Not gonna say anything.
Moving on.
Yep, not gonna say anything about hair. We're moving on. T-Boat USA top 5. If you are a pit bike enthusiast and you love shredding around on CRF 110, KLX 110, or whatever you have, you need tboatusa.com bookmarked on your web browser. I just realized Vince Pale from T-Boat USA sent me a text of something to mention to Seth Hammaker, and I forgot. So I apologize for that. We had a couple comments on the forum that I didn't get to either, but I apologize. All right, T-Boat USA is a pit bike supply site that is everything you need for your pit bike. What do they have, TJ?
They have everything you need for all your pit bikes. They have
You're
parts
a pit bike
for your.
enthusiast, so.
They have parts for pit bike enthusiasts. If you have the Chinese bikes, if you have the bikes that you bought down at the local little shop next to the Haji station, then they have.
You can't. We're gonna get canceled.
Oh, boy. From BBR handlebars to Denim shocks and even full bikes, from YCF and Pitster Pro bikes, T-Boat USA has it all. They even have the stuff for the Chinese bikes, as TJ mentioned, and any probably other thing you could find. TBoatUSA.com. Tonight's T-Boat USA is also brought to us by our good friend TJ. His topic is top 5 worst car trends.
That's right.
Who wants to go first?
I mean, I kind of do because I never go first.
Go ahead.
But it's his. So
You go first, Scotty.
all
Go
right.
ahead, Scotty.
5 is chromed out everything. I don't like chromed.
What do you
out
mean?
looks.
Like somebody does a chrome wrap, or are you talking about
Like just
Think
like
he's talking
when
about
every little one.
wheels, grill.
Yeah, just everything
all
is
the
chrome.
emblems.
I don't like it. Pretty much everything that
was that a
Jeeps.
trend?
That's a trend, right?
I guess it is. I didn't see it.
Pretty much everything that Jeeps do, they spend $40,000.
The ducks.
The ducks.
Is that
well,
a trend? I wondered if that was a trend because it came to my mind, but I didn't use it. 'Cause the ducks thing is dumb.
But for me, it's just like it's everything. It's spending
The Jeep Wave.
$50,000 more than that vehicle's worth to look exactly like every single other Jeep. Like they all look they're the same person
And never
every
take
single
them
one of
off road.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Some soccer mom driving them.
Having the real low front windshield tint. I like limo tint on the sides, like that's fine. But like having like the brow, the real low. I just think that looks so like you're just asking to get pulled over first of all, and saying, well, just like what's the point? It just looks stupid.
So just tint the whole windshield.
No, I don't like that either. That's dumb.
okay.
Yeah.
So no tint?
They said on the windshield.
On the front.
No tint on the front.
No, you can have a little bit on the
legal brow.
the normal
he likes
brow.
the legal brow.
Yeah, but what you see them, you never seen them when they have brow like halfway down like that. Like
I just thought you were saying no tint at all. I thought
no. I
misunderstood.
like tint, and
Yeah.
you gotta
All
have
right.
tint.
I can't afford it.
When people you see it a lot of times with like V6 Camaros and Mustangs when they just have the straight pipe and they sound like just straight garbage fart cans.
You're talking about the new ones.
Yeah, where they just have them straight piped and they just sound like complete garbage. Yeah.
Any V6.
Yeah.
Any V6.
They sound like they're running underwater a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Any
just,
V6.
oh my God. And like, I'm just driving home from work, having a nice day, just enjoying my podcast, and then just behind me, it just
But,
scares
and it's not going anywhere?
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And it has no rumble to it. It's just all fart
it's,
cans.
Okay.
it's stupid.
I'm pretty on board with
and then
most
I think
of
I think all of our number ones are the same. Is the Carolina squatted trucks where the ass end is like at the bottom and they have underglow and all the deep rims and the lights and it looks ridiculous.
That's 2 trends, but okay.
Okay,
okay.
I'm circling them all into one.
I'm going to go with my number 1, which is very similar.
you're
I don't
going
know what the hell you want to call it. It's a lifted truck with low profile tires.
Yeah.
Brodozer.
If you're gonna
Sure.
lift a truck, have mud tires on it.
Yeah, the
That's what it's for.
airbags, all that stuff, all adds in to me.
So
but
those,
it
and we're talking
starts. Well, you're really bad about interrupting
I'm
tonight.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was his thing. He should have gone next.
No, he's doing. I was just going to help you. It's called Brodozers.
It's
But
called
then what
Brodozer.
he said is, you're saying is a separate trend, but all those trucks seem to look and do the same thing to me.
So the Brodozers all will sit level, like a lifted truck, like what you and I would think as a lifted truck,
Okay.
with the big wheels that stick out, that have like low profile mud tires that would never see dirt, that they have all this linkage underneath that's about 6 inches off the ground. It wouldn't even be be good off road. That's a brodozer.
Okay.
When
Well, I hate all that.
the trucks that with the front end is high and the back is low, that's called a squatted truck, and it started in Carolina for some reason, and it's called the Carolina
Okay.
squat.
Both of them.
I'm lumping all that into one. I hate
yeah.
all that. If you're going to have a lifted truck, you need like 16-inch wheels and
Yeah.
36-inch tires.
Yeah.
A lot of rubber,
Yeah.
very little wheel.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway, okay. So that's my number one. Spinners is number two.
Spinners, I liked spinners.
Shut up. Spinners are stupid. Tall wheels on cars. What do you call it?
Well, there's
Oh,
different
donks.
ones, but there's donks, there's bubble tops, but yeah.
All that crap. Don't like any of
I
that.
love donks. That is not on my.
I don't know if
that
this-
is wrong for you to be on.
I don't know if this is an offensive term, but like the rice burner cars with
Yeah,
the
it's not offensive.
with the spoilers and the body
Yeah.
kits, and they sound like a broken
Those
Volkswagen.
are cool.
What's funny is
I
I,
don't care
saw
if they're the fastest car on the planet. They sound stupid and they look stupid.
So you only like one type of car, a regular old truck, or
I
a
like an
muscle car.
old school hot rod, and you say they're not that fast, but they sound badass
But
and
they're
they
not
look
fast.
badass. Those old school muscle cars. And then, okay, I don't like slam trucks, which you're driving one tonight.
in the
it was
weeds.
so funny.
Little mini slam truck. I don't like
Bag
that.
truck. Like my truck, when I park it, it sets it on the
I don't like any of that. So that's my number
It
five.
was so funny that like I've never seen TJ's truck, like that new
Yeah,
one.
when you walked
and,
in.
and then like we were doing this trend today, and I was like, "Well, TJ's got one in the in the
Yeah,
driveway."
You drove one of our pick trends. I put also, and a couple other things. You tell me if this is a trend. It's not really a trend, but like Hummers that aren't actually Hummers. Like an H1, that's a Hummer. An H2, H3, a Hummer truck.
No, the
F you, those aren't Hummers.
But they're
That's not a
very,
trend.
They're very capable. Like
I don't care.
That's not a trend.
A Hummer should look
The
like a
H-
Hummer.
They make an H3 version that's like at like five before lockers and like,
Okay, I don't like the way they look. But then we'll ixnay that one. What about stupid stickers on the back window? And
Yeah, I'm off on that
and-
too. That's kind of dumb.
Okay,
like the
that's
stickers
my
of
list.
me and my family, like and their
any
dog
stickers,
and
the girls on a pole, or Salt Life, or there's one like where the dude.
Sometimes
the
they're
F
good.
It, the
You
F
have
it
no-
one with, like, the
Oh,
little
yeah,
stick
yeah, that's
figure.
played out.
Stop it. Now listen, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. 1994 or 5, I bought a Chevrolet
with the-
Stepside
yeah.
that was all decked out from the dealership, like with body kit,
Yeah,
nice wheels.
those old Chevy step sides were nice.
And I had the biggest rear window sticker that said "Dream On," like the fox.
yeah.
So I'm there, man. I was an idiot
what
too.
about-
That was my question: is what if it's like so I'm gonna put a sticker across the back of my window as advertisement for like my business. And
Oh, that's
okay.
different.
Yeah, that's okay.
different.
okay.
Do you remember the ones where the little guy was pissing on everything?
Yeah, Calvin.
Calvin.
That was it, Calvin.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Whatever
but
you
anyway,
hated,
all right.
you just put him pissing on it. It was
TJ, knock it out.
Yeah. Obviously, Carolina squat is so bad, like to the point that I usually keep a couple of dollars in my console. You know how cheap I am.
Yeah.
And then when I see somebody with a squatted truck, either at a red light or in a parking lot, I hand them $1 and say, "This is help you get the rest of your lift kit." I literally have done
pretty
that
good.
multiple
Yeah.
times.
I always just do the. Oh, I'm sorry about your dick, bro.
Yeah. But I'm just like,
we just got demonetized.
this will help you get the rest of your lift kit. You know?
Yeah, that's
Car wraps. Like it's like $3,000 to wrap your car, and it doesn't make any sense to me because, like, if it's not done right, you can peel the clear coat off. It's just a waste of money. Just get your
Even
car
for like
painted.
advertising purposes.
No, I'm talking about like just to change the
Oh,
color of
okay.
the
Yeah.
car. You know, advertise is totally
It's
different.
a full wrap.
People
yeah.
do that.
They do it
Oh, yeah.
all the time. Plastidip. You remember that deal where it was like a spray on, like you
Yeah.
spray your wheels and then you could peel it off later? No, it
I don't
was
remember that one.
terrible.
Okay.
Yeah. The brodozers, obviously. And then I just have a problem when somebody puts crazy lights, like either like you were talking about under the wheels.
yeah.
All I see when I see that is, hey, everybody, look at me.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I-
no shit.
but-
Literally.
Yeah, that's what they're going
Look at
for,
me in the
TJ.
dark.
But-
Yeah, that's what they're going for.
But no, what I'm saying, like my truck, I lay it out when I park, but it's like, hey, look at what I built, not look at what I bought and put on my car.
Well, they can't build it. So they just buy stuff. And
I'm just saying, like, I understand some of the, like, hey, look what I did, like, that kind of stuff. But these guys act like they did all this stuff to their vehicle, and all they're doing is sticking on some lights, or they put the inside lights that glow inside, but then you see it plugged into their cigarette lighter.
Dude, did you like back in the day? You'd go to, I think it was Western Auto, had the section with all the, like the bug guards for the windows and all the little things. Dude, the Kraco radios. Like I was in there like all the time. Oh, what can I get next? Like gonna get the front bug guard for the for the hood.
Well, those things work, but I mean,
I was always in there buying like, oh, what's the next little the shifter.
Yeah, the shifter knobs.
The shifter knobs.
Yeah. I put you know how Walmart would sell the fake stick-on vents.
Oh,
like, I had those. I had a 1990 Suburban when I was in high school. It was ghost white, and I put those on the side of it. Ironically, right? Yeah. Like not because I thought that they looked cool. I just thought it was like, let's slam out the Suburban, right?
I had were they GTS or whatever, the blackout covers for the headlights of my Ford Ranger.
How do y'all not like lowriders? I don't get
They're
it.
okay.
I love big trucks, and I always thought little trucks were stupid. I don't know. I mean, look,
I love mini trucks.
There's really cool stuff in the way they're built. I know all that, but I just don't like how they look.
I told you before the show that I would if I was given, you have to drive one of these two cars, and one was a truck like yours that was slammed, and the other one was a Carolina squatted Brodos or whatever. I'm driving his for sure.
The fact that you put those in the same sentence makes me want to kick you right in the nuts.
That's because I think they're both stupid, but one's much more
right in the nuts.
No, I was trying to make you feel better.
But I would drive your truck before I drive your Fiero.
Dude, you leave my trailer park Ferrari alone.
For trailer park Ferrari.
All right, real quick, let's jump back into a topic that we didn't get to that I kind of want to touch on. Cooper Webb, 3-time champion. I asked him in Birmingham about where he is, Mount Rushmore-ish, no outdoor really success at all. That's when that whole discussion started. He's in line or on the same page as 6 other riders with more than 2 titles. But when you guys think about Cooper Webb, do you think of him as a Mount Rushmore or all-time great right now without any outdoor success in the 450 class?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a little more than just yes.
Okay.
Like, what do you think?
I was expecting you just to like interrupt me.
Okay. Why? Good point.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think because I'm going to say this again for the 4th time tonight, he's the grittiest guy I think that we've ever seen when it comes to mental games, finding ways to win. Like that Pittsburgh race, going back, like when we look back on this, like, dude, that was probably like the clutchest win of like all time, I think. Like, because that he doesn't win that race, Salt Lake City is completely different.
Sure.
Like, that was an incredible win on his part. And just the fact that he was able to just have the mental fortitude and the mind games and the way he just racecraft his season, I think that you have to put him in the conversation of the greatest as a Mount Rushmore for those characteristics. Is he like the fastest guy of all time? No, but is he probably one of the just greatest racers of all time? I think so.
Okay.
That's where I don't think Mount Rushmore. I think because Mount Rushmore is like your top best guys, but is he one of the greatest racers? Absolutely, without a question. There's not a hesitation. But can you put him up there on the Mount Rushmore? There's 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
How can you call him?
There are 5.
How can you say that he is one of the greatest racers of all time and not even debate that he could be a spot on somebody's?
I said one of the greatest, but not on a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he's saying not on his.
Yeah.
I would like to put Cooper on my Mount Rushmore, but I don't think I can without a really good outdoor season. I might be able to do it. Like if he went in top 3 to an outdoor season, then
what if he wins another Supercross?
It
never gets another. It never even gets another outdoor win. Let's just say that.
Yeah, no, I think I need some outdoors.
Well, here's my question.
Yeah,
even
McGrath has
won an outdoor title.
So did Cooper. I mean, it's 250s, but he still won one.
Doesn't matter. I don't care about 250s in this.
Yeah,
discussion.
but it's not a division. It's a full round championship. I mean, that counts.
It doesn't count like a 450 does.
Okay, here's my question. Like, let's say he wins this year, just happens to win the outdoors, right? So that puts him in your running.
Okay.
He's not gonna replace McGrath. He's
Okay.
not going to replace what do you call it? The GOAT, Ricky.
Ricky and MC are in,
Exactly.
locked in.
Like who else
then
is on who else on your Mount Rushmore right now?
For me,
It's got to be Eli.
okay, so I also for me, I'm going to add results and championships, but then I'm also probably going to throw a little personality in there.
Exactly.
So I go either Eli or RV for me.
There you go. And then who else would? I mean, there's.
And then Cooper would battle with one of those guys
Yeah.
if he
You're
won
saying
out,
that
if
he
he
would
won
beat,
an outdoor
he would-
title.
even with an outdoor title, there's no way he knocks James off of a Mount Rushmore.
James is not on mine.
I'm not saying that I would.
James is one of my favorite racers of all time,
Right.
but his lack of ability to not crash and do stupid stuff hurts his overall race performance for me.
I guess.
I'm not saying that I'm putting Coop in my Mount Rushmore after this Supercross win, but I think that he just deserves to be in the conversation.
Yep.
And if somebody were to put him on their Mount Rushmore, especially because of his abilities in racecraft, I wouldn't argue with him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, "Oh my God, that's such a stupid take. You really have Cooper as your Mount?" I wouldn't say that.
Like and subscribe on YouTube, MotoXpodShow@gmail.com. Let us hear your top 5. Let us hear your Mount Rushmore. We did the Guts Racing seat cover winner is Mickey Arno. We got a bunch of photos of bikes, and what I did, all these winners tonight, I just threw them in a hat and I picked one, and that's how we got it. So, appreciate it. Mickey already has his code for his Guts Racing seat cover. Andy Gregg took care of that, so hopefully he's getting that ordered.
Those seats are so good.
Yeah, they are. Okay, we're going to close out with the Barnett Clutches pick one, and then we'll do an FXR read. We obviously know race this weekend coming up, so no podium winners, but Barnett Clutches with 75 years of experience behind them. Barnett Dirt Digger clutch kits feature friction materials exclusive to Barnett for maximum performance and durability. Save yourself 10% with promo code VITALMX, that's all caps, at barnettclutches.com, and feel the Barnett difference. Guys, if you're riding a lot, you got some time on your bike, time for a new clutch, Barnett Clutches, support the show. We appreciate those sponsors. Okay. This pick one was actually submitted by a listener. If you were on a plane and you had to pick somebody sitting next to you with either bad breath or body odor for a long flight.
It's kind of the same thing.
No, I don't think it is.
No. It's bad. I picked bad breath.
Yeah, because you can stay away from that.
Yeah, you could tell him.
Yeah,
Hey,
I feel
bro.
like this was kind of an easy one, but I want to see what you guys thought. Yeah. I guess like the reason I thought about that, I'm with you guys. I think you could lean away or not talk to the dude and or girl and deal with, but then at the other aspect of it, I thought, if you sit next to someone with body odor, let's say 30 minutes, maybe you stop smelling it. But then if the person that's sitting next to you and they speak or they cough, like every 5 minutes, you're like, oh, goddamn, what was that? You know, like, it's just, like you're just like, all of a sudden you're surprised.
Your reaction.
You're surprised by it, you know, like, so.
Can I change it? Can I edit to this?
Absolutely.
Sitting someone with bad breath or having to be in the middle between two oversized people.
So one person with bad breath or
like
two heavy.
like rancid breath. We're talking about like their teeth are rotten.
Yeah, like
rancid
bad breath. It's just two seats, you and them, or you're in one of those ones with three seats and you're stuck in the middle between two overweight people.
It's a very tough decision. I think I'm going to be stuck between the two big people and hope that I fall
just
asleep
use it as a pillow?
and then just like lock me in.
Just lock me in and use it
like,
as a pillow.
Oh, I'm tightened up in between my big body pillows.
Yeah.
I'm nice and warm and like a, what is it? Like a bug in a rug? What is
snug as a bug in a rug.
So about 2 days ago, I watched the video of myself. My hair was a mess, and I was like, I gotta get a haircut.
Every day, pretty much.
I gotta get a haircut. So I went to get a haircut, and the lady, super nice lady, she's like, let me cut your beard. And I'm like, it's fine. She's like, no, it's terrible. It was a mess, right? And when she was doing it, it made me think of this. I had been drinking coffee at first because I went there first thing in the morning.
Yeah, your breast stank.
And bro, well, I don't know, but she would get like right up in my face within like a few inches of my face as she's like trimming my beard and getting it perfect. And I'm sitting there holding my breath.
Yeah.
Because she was doing such a good job.
Coffee breath is rough.
I didn't want to be rude and breathe coffee breath. So I'm like, I didn't
do
want to
that.
breathe out of my nose because, you know.
I keep those little travel bottles of mouthwash like in my door of my truck and mint. Yeah.
But I drink coffee all day, so I usually just
that's
gum.
a bad.
That's chew gum.
Bad job, dude.
What's your bad job?
Because your breath probably is rank, and people are like all the time. That TJ guy.
Y'all never complained about it.
We had a teacher. We had a teacher in junior high that drank coffee all day and had bad breath, and he'd like come help you with your paper, and you just it was just bad.
I had one of those too.
And then during the holidays, someone put a little bow on the thing of Tic Tacs and put it on his desk.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, FXR is designed by racers for racers with industry-leading fit, finish, and performance. Progression is the name of the game with every new piece created. At FXR, we push our brand to the next level to provide you with the best products possible, used by Muck-Off, FXR, Club MX, Yamaha, Mike Brown, Brock Tickle, Chris Kiefer, Benny Bloss, and many more. FXR has core motor roots, so visit fxrracing.com or go to your local dealership to see the complete line of FXR. Okay, next week we are planning on doing a show. We'll do a little MX like preview, our thoughts on, I guess our picks or whatever. I think Phil Nicoletti is going to be the guest. I haven't actually asked him yet, but he's told me he would do our show. He's been kind of giving me a shit about not having him on the show, and he's obviously not that serious about it. But
right.
But I told him, I said, look, I actually would like to get you on the show, but let's try to come up with something different because you're on Pulp literally every single week. That's part of his deal. So what I did is I put a topic up on the forum.
You don't change perfect.
You're not completely wrong, but I put a topic on the forum for listener questions.
Okay.
For Phil. We've got a number, and then we could talk to him a little bit about like his outdoor picks or whatever. But if you guys want to go to the Vital MX website and then open the forum.
On the screen.
It's on the screen for you.
What? No, the Vital MX QR code to go to the website is on the screen.
I'm with you now. Okay. And go to the forum. And I think the topic is MotoXpod and Phil Nicoletti. And then you can add your questions in there. And I will ask him to do the show next week. Hopefully he says yes.
Can we just pick either the most upvoted one or the funniest ones? Can we purposely pick some off the wall questions?
Well, I'm going to try to do them all.
Okay. Oh, even better.
It depends on how many there are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I would like to do for the entire interview.
Yeah.
Is do that.
So guys, if you hear that, go ask ridiculous questions that'll have good answers, that it could be something funny. Obviously, you can't be inappropriate.
Yeah.
But as appropriately inappropriate as you can be.
People to be appropriate.
Well, obviously, depending on. I mean, if it's inappropriate, I'm just not going to ask it.
There you go.
You got to be within reason. But we know how Phil is, so they could be funny or whatever. But okay, I want to thank.
I have a question.
The answer
just
is
raise your hand.
14.
I have a question. 14.
7 inches.
I know you're probably gonna bash on me for I just haven't seen anything we are having everybody's back, right? Everybody and Jet and Hunter, they're all back. Okay, nothing's said. Nobody said no or nobody said okay. That's what I just want to make sure.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody's good. We don't really know what Cooper's going to do for sure, but I think they're all back riding. And,
that's exciting.
Yep, should be good. Okay, I want to thank you two for being here. Seth Hammaker and Shane McElrath. I want to thank our presenting sponsors, Race Tech and Yamaha Motor USA. I want to thank X Brand, Evans Coolant, Guts Racing, T-Boat USA, Barnett Clutches, ETS Racing Fuels, FXR, and ProX. Listeners, viewers, all that, we appreciate it. We'll be back next week. We're out.